Welcome to Vlogmas day 28. Sorry if I don't talk too loudly, the guys have gone to bed, but I haven't really videoed anything today. I'll just fill you in. Hubby rang Virgin up yesterday because our landline was playing up, and we have got certain members of the family, especially seniors, that don't like ringing the mobiles. They prefer to ring the landline. So hubby was trying to get that organised, and when he rang up yesterday, they said they could come out that day or the next day, and we said, well, the next day would be better, being between 8 and 12. So it left the afternoons free for the hospital and everything, and that was all dinky-dory. Then 10-15 minutes after that, he got an email saying that they're coming on the 3rd of January. And you're thinking, what? That's not what they agreed. So he had to ring back again, had to go through security questions, and I think this is the main reason. I think once in the past we did have problems with the digibox, as I call it, and they did end up replacing it after we had to clear our plan a few times to close it all down. And then they did actually upgrade us free of charge, come out and give us a new box. But the phone line, we've never had problems. We've noticed it quite recently, very much crackling, everything. We can't hear people on the line and everything. And as I said, we have got a mobile, but there's certain members of the family that prefer, and they just ring the landline, even though we keep telling them, please ring the mobile, or even if you sort of ring us and we ring you back. And the certain members of the family that still insist on ringing the main landline, even though we're having problems and we can't hear them. So yeah, so he rang back and he says, well, we can't change it. He says, but you promised you'd be coming out the next day, not the 3rd of January. So that's not good enough, especially as we need the landline through the night as well. Just because we don't take mobile phones in our bedroom, and waiting on, say, my father-in-law's not well. We've got quite a lot of illness in the family. We've got mum in hospital, so we just wanted that extra security. So anyway, they said they'll get someone to ring us back urgently, as if they can sort the matter out. I think it was their technical department or whatever. Didn't hear anything. We waited all day, rest of that day, actually, all yesterday. So anyway, on to today. We had a message from our son saying, can he come for a little while with our granddaughter? Daughter-in-law's working. I'm from home. I think it's give her a bit of peace. I said, yeah, fine. And of course I have my backup plans for lunch and everything. I've got things in, so it's not a problem. And then we get a phone call to say the engineer wants to come, he's 10 minutes away. I said, oh, okay then, fair enough. So we had the engineer come near enough, yeah, just after our son and granddaughter turned up. Yeah, so that's, at least it wasn't tripping over toys at that point. So yeah, we got it fixed. We ended up having a new router, I think it's called, because that has been replaced in all the time we've had Virgin. We did have Sky, but that's another matter. We had Sky for 22 years until we had problems with them, and they wouldn't come out and fix the problem, even though we paid extra insurance for an engineer supposed to come out either the same day or within 24 hours, and they didn't want to know. So as soon as we swapped over to Virgin, we got inundated with calls and about coming back to them, and we said no, they blew it. Well, anyway, we got it sorted to a certain extent. This is what I've got at the moment. This is our old phone. We keep this as a backup, yeah, cable, because as you know, we've got cordless phones. If you've seen the background of my videos, I know a lot of people don't have landlines now, but we do. But we always kept this because we could put this into the main socket if we got to check that it's not our phones. That's what we did originally, but we got this because our main phone is in the lounge and it's connected by cable behind the fireplace. So to disconnect it, we've got to pull our fireplace out, which is fixed and everything, and it's heavy. So we've got to do that when hubby's available, although he's on holiday at the moment. But with our son as well to help move it out the fireplace to disconnect the main phone, and that will probably come in here, but at least that's cordless, so I can then move around. But the only problem we've got is we have to try and leave the door just there, our lounge door, slightly ajar, because our tree's blocking it, and of course the phone being here, because our phones don't ring at the moment, so that hopefully will be sorted out in a couple of days. So we've got a granddaughter, had a well of time, jigsaws. We played we started the Frozen, that 50 game set that we kept. We didn't actually give it at Christmas. We were keeping that in for Christmas Eve and everything, but didn't get used, so we played a couple of games. She had a little mini sort of house with all the little characters. I think some of it is like Polly Pocket type thing, or something like that. We didn't get any surveilling family stuff out, but it wasn't too bad. We was going to do some painting, but we didn't get round to that. So yeah, we had a whale of a time, and the guys just happened to be gaming downstairs as well, because hubby's Star Wars new Lego game. So yeah, so we've had a real busy day. I then spent the afternoon on the phone, as you do. On basis, I spend about 2 to 3 hours on the phone, messages and phoning and everything. At one point, I couldn't believe it. I was on my mobile, hubby was on his mobile, and her son was on the line, the main line. It just happened, all that, everybody's phones were going off at the same time. So yeah, that's it. I'm waffling, but as I said, I haven't really videoed anything today. That's why I tend to have a couple of pens. I'm loving this one. I think this one came, I'm sure this one came, it's either the range, it could be the range. I was going to say Poundland, but I think it might have been the range. That's why I tend to have 2 or 3 pens around with a pad. I've got so many scribbles, doodles and everything. Sorry for all the rustling, but I do tend to have this by my phone now, and pen, plus a couple of others, because I end up doodling. I don't know if anybody else does that, especially when you're holding on the phone, passing the time. Sometimes I'm making notes as I go along, but I have to make sure I don't get too distracted, because by the time someone's picked up on the other line on the phone, thinking, oh yeah, move back, this is what I need to know, this is what I need to say, and things like that. Do you know what I mean? My mind has gone completely like mush this holiday, if you can call it a holiday. I think everybody's pretty stressed out and everything and tired. As I said, the guys have gone to bed, but I just wanted to sort of fill you in. I did make another box. I think, let me think, was it this one I shared? This will be coming up in another video, because I've got some little treats to go in these boxes. I think I shared this one, but then I made the other one, which will be coming up in another day or so. This one. And I got these from the charity shop, so I've left those there because I want to put little chocolates and things in there. And I've got down in my notes, I've got to put my food shop through. I'll probably do that tomorrow or later today, whichever time it's gone by now. I don't think it's midnight yet. I don't think it is. But there you go. Yeah, so I'm going to put my food shop through. As I said, my dinner party for New Year's Day has been cancelled, but I'm still going to get certain stuff in for the freezer. I'm going to get those chicken joints, because we're going to go to the butcher and get a joint. My mother-in-law was going to bring a joint. I'll give us a joint as well. But I have this backup plan where I sort of get things that are I can easily open or whatever, or I can cook from frozen, and I'm going to get some of those. Still going to get some of those chicken joints in, because if we don't use them on New Year's Day, I can use them anytime, and you can cook them from frozen. So this is what I mean about, it's not probably ideal, else we probably would have wanted go to the butcher, which was on the plan anyway. But get these frozen joints in, maybe frozen veg, got potatoes and everything, and get piggy blankets, all that sort of thing in, even though I've cancelled, because it's there then in the freezer when we can finally do our dinner. And I said, even if we're not having company, which has been cancelled, we can have the dinner. So I would have everything in and not have to worry about shopping New Year's Eve and everything for the meal. Yeah, so I think I'm losing my train of thought here, but yeah, it's on my list to put my food shop through and have it delivered the following day. So if I put it through whatever day it is, as like I said, I don't think it's my clock is upstairs, because we had a couple of slight power surges, or I wouldn't call them power cuts, because I know there was warning originally. They were thinking about doing power cuts, weren't they? So that's why we got torches around our home, extra torches and everything, and made sure the batteries are in them just in case we lose our electrics. But if you have a power surge or a power cut, we had a backup battery in our clock, as our son does, so it doesn't affect any alarms or anything, or the clock. But our clock is that old now. It's actually an iPod as well. That's how old it is. I'm not big on technology, but yeah, I know it's probably obsolete now. But it reverts back to naught, so I have to get hubby to check it, the alarm, not just put the button down, to make sure that there wasn't a power surge or anything, as it goes to naught for the alarm. And we've had this in the past, and luckily woke up and hubby wasn't that late for work. This has gone back 5 years, so we've got 2 miniature clocks. Again, you might have seen in the background there, because we went for a stage that we thought the actual alarm clock was playing up. So we had about 2 or 3 alarms. Yeah, I took something about our son's book. He normally has 3 or 4 alarms, because hubby says in the mornings, when our son's been working between Christmas and New Year, he says, how many times does that alarm go off? And I said, it is actually set about 3 times, not pressing the snooze button. So my chair creaks, sorry about that. No, it goes off about 2 or 3 times, and this is not just pressing snooze button. It's actually set for about 3 alarms. But yeah, I'm just waffling on. I think that was it. As I say, I'm still getting stuff in, because even though dinner party's been cancelled, we still got to eat. So we're just probably not going full out like we was going to, just on a smaller scale. I still got both my dessert platters in the freezer. This is why I said it's handy to plan ahead. If I hadn't planned ahead, even though I feel out of control, I feel as though everything's coming at me, I can't switch off. It's like, no, I am really tired, but unless I'm ready to actually sleep and could switch off, that's why I write everything down, a list for tomorrow, and try and say, right, it's down on my paper, on the pad, let's just switch off. I've got it written down, check it in the morning, or on this video later today when I get up, and just go through it, but switch off. The only thing is, I'm only getting about 2 hours sleep, then I wake up. I think on the odd occasion I've actually managed to get back off to sleep. It's took me a while, but if it's been about 4 or 5 hours in bed, even though it's been broken sleep, by the time I've woken up for about the second or third time, I have to get up, because I just can't switch off, and I'll just keep hubby awake. I have on the odd occasion read my Kindle, which is probably the worst thing you could do, but sometimes that can actually make me tired. It's like watching TV. Although I like it really quiet in our bedroom to go to sleep. If I have noise, I can't sleep. But there is the odd occasion, especially recently, put the TV on and it's getting late in the evening, and I can film something like that. And a couple of times I've said to our son, just give me a slight nudge. Don't go shaking me, but just say, Mom, you're not going to sleep, are you? As I won't sleep when I go to bed, sort of thing. It depends how I feel. If I'm feeling a little bit rough, I've got a headache, especially if it's on early in the day, sometimes I will say, just let me sleep that bit just to get rid of the bad head. Do you know what I mean? They're escalating again. I'm trying, I think it's down to blood pressure. They're escalating again. I just got myself sort of at a decent sort of time, feeling, not bad, got myself sort of, in Christmas mode, especially that first weekend in December, and got all my decorations up in one day and everything. And I thought, this is, maybe it was me. I said, this is good to be, too good to be true, and it's not going to last. And of course it didn't. And I know I miss this Christmas. I've always said that. But I know this sounds awful, but I'm ready to take my Christmas decorations down. We're not even into New Year. I always say our Christmas doesn't finish until the 2nd of January. That's when, guys go back. 2nd or 3rd. I think it's going to be the 3rd for hubby, but I know our son's back on the 2nd. But he's worked in between. He had a couple of days off before hubby was off, which was a godsend actually, because I got lifts backwards and forwards to the hospital. A lot of the running about, getting the shopping done that I would have done on my own back. I would have gone on the bus or anything, or walked to Tesco's and did all this on my own. But it was nice to have, drivers available backwards and forwards. That's why there was a lot of hauls. Normally, I'd probably do quite a few hauls, especially after Christmas with the bargains and everything, in case you're interested. But I've not been there. I haven't found the enjoyment. I'm trying for family members, and I know hubby's tried and our son's tried, but it's just not the same. I've got visions now. Our New Year's Day dinner party's been cancelled. I won't be too surprised if, and you might see it, I don't know. Depending on who's available, we might end up taking our decorations down. Comment down below, do you wait? Is it 12 days after Christmas? Normally, if say New Year like this year, it's on a Sunday. So both of them off? Yeah, both of them off on the Monday, but our son will be back. He's got to work Monday, that's it. I have to work it out. He has to work on the Monday, so hubby doesn't. It's getting the boxes down. That's the time, if they're available on, say, the 2nd of January, we take the decorations down, or I will take them down if they're both working. Hopefully this is making sense to you, but I will take them down and I'll lay them on tables or something in the rooms, so when the guys come home, they get the boxes down if I start taking everything down, and I can put them in the boxes, and then they will put them up in the loft, if that makes sense. But I'm not sure if we're going to end up taking them down before New Year. I don't want to spend New Year actually taking decorations down. We've done it before, and I'm not sure if I did it possibly in lockdowns as well. We've took them down earlier. But yeah, I know it can't be helped, and I know a lot of people say, well, you know, I know a lot of people have got it much worse, and I try and sort of put that, you know, it could be worse sort of attitude. We've been really lucky, admittedly, but I don't know if anybody else is the same. Have you ever had that Christmas where even if you are a Christmas person, you just feel it comes to a point and thinking, hey ho, I want to pack everything up, and I've gotten to that stage now. I want to, dare I say, and I love Christmas. I never want to take the decorations down, but even now, I'm at the stage now, I'm ready to take them down. I don't even know, as I say, I'm going to sing New Year out. I'm ranting on time and everything. I'm not sure whether there's going to be some breaks in this conversation. I'll see when I edit it and play it back. I'm thinking, God, even I'll be asleep listening to this. But yeah, I know some of you like to have my voice in the background, and hopefully, you know, it'll be something good and it'll send you to sleep. Well done, you know. Well done to you lot, you know, if you can sleep. But I think my main problem is, even with all my things in place, I just having problems in switching off. It doesn't help having to listen out to the phone all the time. So I'm gonna say good night. I'm gonna go to bed now. Hopefully I haven't disturbed the guys. So hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. I'm not sure what's happening tomorrow. I'm taking it a day at a time. Everything is higgledy-piggledy. But yeah, the main thing is I think I'll be putting my food shop through tomorrow, so we'll see where that goes, and may have to go out again. Normally between Christmas and New Year, I don't very often have a food delivery. I normally get one of the guys to take me shopping, because it's usually just a top up, but even I've fallen behind with my lists and my planning. So once again, I'm really going to go now because I'm going to go to bed. So hopefully you're okay. Hopefully you didn't mind this video, and if you're still awake, goodbye and good night.